Great season, great disappointment. I will pull an old baseball term out. So close, but yet so far away. Talking about the Padres' hopes versus the Padres' failure. Another baseball axiom: good pitching beats good hitting. Summarize all that. The Padres lose to the Dodgers in a series that was electric. Man, we checked off a lot of boxes in this series. We had a little bit of playoff hate. We had a beanball. We had a lot of MFs directed from the field to the dugout. We had problems with the umpires. Obviously, we had all types of pitching issues. We had hitting issues. We had pitching dominance. We had bullpen days. And we had a bullcrap decision by the Padres manager. How do you go with a batting order that was number one in all of Major League Baseball? Please tell me how you go 24 innings and don't score a run with the number one hitting team in Major League Baseball, the Friars. If you had told me before the series started that Arise would hit 182, I said, no way. If you had told me Machado, see the back of my baseball card, would hit 179, I said, absolutely no way. If you had told me the middle of the batting order, Manny, Profar, and Merrill would hit 192, I said, I seriously doubt that. All that is what happened. The Padres went 24 straight innings without scoring a run against the Dodgers. Season over. I think they're going to be haunted forever by the decision that Mike Shildt, smart guy manager, made to send Dylan Cease out there to pitch on that Wednesday game. Had they won that Wednesday game, series would have been over. Padres would have had 4 days to reset the rotation. God, they would have been in great shape for the series against the New York Mets. Why you would pick Dylan Cease on 3 days rest? He had never worked on 3 days rest in his career. Why you would pick Dylan Cease in his last start? He weathered through 83 pitches and the Dodgers lit him up. Why you would pick Dylan Cease to come out and pitch on Wednesday with all those negatives swirling around him? His heart was willing, his body, his arm was not. I mean, they could have gone with Martin Perez. They could have created a bullpen day if need be. And then even if they lost, you still would have had Yu Darvish. But they were behind the eight ball right from the get-go, and they never, ever rallied. I mean, to me, that's going to haunt them. That's there. You wear that around your neck. The Padres need to own it. For all the brilliant things Mike Shildt did, this was a really bad decision because I don't know any analytical metrics that said this was the right decision. And by the way, in the other dugout, and we've talked extensively about the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, the people upstairs, the memos, the analytics, good decisions, bad decisions. What they figured out by going to their bullpen day and how to send their relievers in what inning to match what the batting order was, that was bleeping brilliant. I'm sorry. Dodger analytics guys shut out Padre analytics guys when it came to decisions about pitching. I mean, I almost fell off the bar stool when I saw Kopech come in, your closer, your 100-mile-an-hour guy, come in the fourth inning. In the fourth inning on that bullpen day. But why? Because he was going to face the heart of the Padre order, and what did he do? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And when they needed matchups, here came the left-handed hitters. Who did they go to? Vesia. What Vesia do? 1, 2, 3. Just absolutely stunning. Their analytics figured it all out, matching right-hander versus right-hander, left-hander versus left-hander, and they had the depth in the bullpen to do it. And I guess the thing that blows me away totally, this is the same pitching staff that at midseason had a 10-game lead and saw it fall to 2 games in the final month because they had nobody healthy. You couldn't trust their starters. They were all on the DL. And the bullpen went through a stretch where you said, my God, these guys can't pitch anymore. Their ERA was almost 7 in the months of July into August when the big lead in the pennant race went down to 2. And yet these guys showed up in October. Wow. So Dodger Blue people deserve a lot of credit. Padres, what a disappointing end. Like I said, great season turns into great disappointment. And of course, we obviously have to deal with the terrible setback with Musgrove, the Hassan Kim surgery, etc. But everybody's got injuries. Just look at the Dodgers, how many surgeries they've had, and they're still playing baseball. So I come away, my left hand says, what a fun summer of covering baseball, talking baseball, all the unique things, the come from behind wins, the walk-offs in the ninth inning, the kid in center field, the no-hitter, and all that. So many great flashbacks to this Padres season, but it's offset by what happened right at the end of the season in the playoffs, and I think a bad manager's decision. End result, Padres are like you and me, watching the playoffs and now the World Series on TV. I know you got opinions. I know you want to pile on. Just stay with us. Everybody will get the chance to take their shot. But remember, there's always return fire. So fans forum coming up right at the end. Be it Padres, be it Dodgers, be it good, be it bad, your opinion counts too. I've said a lot. John Riley, it's your turn.
Well, there's so many different levels to this, isn't there, Lee? I mean, there's the whole part of the story of how the Padres lost, the part of the story of how the Dodgers won, and then all the shenanigans that went around the whole game. So let me see if I can break this down succinctly. As a Padre fan, I'm blown away. I was in mourning for 24 hours after that loss. It kills me. It's the San Diego sports curse over and over and over again. It's tough being a sports fan in San Diego. But you're right. We had a great run. It was a fun season. There was a lot to be happy about. But how in the hell did this team suddenly stop hitting? And they talked all year about how we grind and we fight. We're always fighting back. It looks like they almost gave up. It was like they waved a flag and Manny Machado waving at those balls down and away. Same with Tatis. I was wondering, were they all trying to hit like home run balls to be a hero? What happened to the put the ball in play and move runners around? When you lose one of the games 2-0, you should have won that one. I mean, so, and I don't blame Mike Schilt for Dylan Cease. I mean, you got to score runs. It doesn't matter who you pitch. You got to score, and they didn't score.
Didn't score, but they were in the hole right from the get-go, which made it really hard. Understand that. Now, why did they not hit? Baseball players and the hitting coaches, they study all the statistics and the graphics. They know the strengths and weaknesses of each guy that they're going to face. But when you're facing 8 different guys in a 9-inning game, and those guys are all coming out throwing smoke, and that's what the bulk of that Dodger bullpen does, that's pretty tough to make adjustments. It's not like you get to look at John Riley in the first inning, and then you'll see him second time through the batting order in the 4th inning, and maybe in the 6th inning, you get a third kick at the can. They're getting one look at these guys, and here comes Kopech throwing 100. That's tough to catch up to. And then you got Evan Phillips and some wicked stuff. And that takes time to adjust to. So I think the fact that there were 8 different game plans they had in their head when they're coming to the plate, because they had to face 8 different guys. You know, the law of averages says 8 relievers are not going to get the side out on a consistent basis. But on that given day, they sure did. So I think that's the answer to the question about where did their offense go? You weren't facing the pitcher the first time, second time, third time through the batting order. You're getting one look.
That's no excuse. I mean, because when you face a starting pitcher, it's your first time looking at him in the first and second inning. So they still need to be productive. So I don't accept that at all. I mean, there's been all kinds of conspiracy theories that gambling was involved, or, the Padre players were angry about this or that. I can't comprehend how they dropped so quickly, so fast at the end, when you had a 2-1 series lead going home to win game 4 at Petco and just completely laid a frickin' egg. It just boggles my mind. I mean, I apply logic and reason to it, it just drives me crazy. So I'm trying to put baseball at arm's length here for a day or two till I can kind of get my senses back. But besides the Padres, I do want to talk about the Dodgers and all the other shenanigans. We can do that?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But at the end of the day, the analytics guys in Los Angeles did a hell of a job against the analytics guys that A.J. Peller's side put there. I mean, and then the pitchers went out and they threw smoke. And they didn't walk anybody. They hardly allowed any base hits. They retired 19 guys in a row. I mean, it's phenomenal.
Well, it's phenomenal from the perspective of how not everyone, but so many people wanted to fire Dave Roberts because he couldn't manage a pitching staff in the playoffs. And he was always pulling guys too early or too late. And this time he did it perfectly, which is also mind-blowing. And there were no mistakes. There were no let-ups. I mean, were the Padres maybe picking up on pitches? Were they tipping pitches in the first few games and then they lost that strategic advantage when they went over? I don't know, but it seems that Roberts did everything right for all the things he was criticized against. So the Padres did a 180 and the Dodgers did a 180 in the other direction, which it just blows me away.
You need a break.
Big time.
You need an off season. Do you think you'll be okay by the time the Cactus League opens in February?
Well, yeah, I'm refueling some of my frustration, but I took a 24-hour mourning period after that, and I just was kind of getting over it all. I couldn't watch game 1 of the series. I saw the highlights, Dodgers Mets. Couldn't watch it, but I'll get ready for game 2. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I remember back in the 90s when you were doing Charger play-by-play. When the Chargers would lose on Sundays, I felt crappy on Mondays because it's so emotional for me. I'm feeling the same way now.
I ached. I walked out of this pub in upstate New York because I don't have cable or TV in my cottage. And I went to a biker's bar and I was surrounded by Yankee and Mets fans. And here I am, and my wife's wearing a San Diego hoodie, the Padre hoodie. And they were looking at me, and I was looking at them, and they kept asking me. And then they found out who I was, and I wound up having to do a talk show with all these biker guys who were Yankee and Met fans or drunk Buffalo Bills fans. So it was really hilarious. But I came out, I ached. I was on such a downer because I had such great expectations. I thought this thing set up really well. And the minute, I found out that Dylan Cease was given the ball after an 82-pitch outing in which he got racked the prior start by the Dodgers, I said, this is not good. And it wasn't good. And they were in a hole right from the get-go. And then, as we said, the Dodger analytics guys matched my flamethrower versus those right-handed hitters. And when they sent a left-handed batter up, that left-hander was coming out of the pen doing it. So tough loss.
Isn't this just crazy? I mean, you think about Marlon McCree with the Chargers. You think about this season, the playoffs with the Padres. The Aztecs had a top 4 program and the tournament gets canceled because of COVID. We can make a huge list of all of these things that have happened to San Diego sports teams that are just unbelievable.
So if I look up here, the roof is not going to cave in on this great podcast, is it?
Well, the podcast, I think, is doing all right. It's just the San Diego sports teams. It's just so frustrating.
Okay. Time out. No whining. No complaining.
Okay.
We're asking Padre fans and Dodger fans, want you to pile in so you can pile on with an opinion. The Fans Forum chat box is open, so feel free to make a statement, ask a question, tell us what you think. We go from